The next time that we hear Western countries, especially England, France, Belgium, and Portugal, discuss how much they give us in aid, we want to ask them when they will pay back what they actually stole. We want to explore how history can help us answer why are the people with the most natural wealth not so well off when the people with the least natural wealth enjoy the highest standards of living. Yes, we have corruption. Yes, we have bad leaders. Yes, 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 we hear it all the time. Unfortunately, those arguments present only half the story, and they create a smokescreen that prevents us from looking at the problems more holistically. This is not about blame or reparations, but about Africans, making Africans smarter about how they view the world. We must stop coming to the table with our heads held low, asking the IMF, the World Bank, the UN, and any other international NGOs to solve our problems. We are not just people looking for a handout from the West. We are, after all, some of the most hardworking, intelligent, and loving people, and we want to find out why we don't have what we should have. We are going to explore different events in history that explain how African economies got to where they are today. We would like to look at Africa's situation from an economic perspective because we understand that beyond the issues of race and ethnicity, there is a driving force behind most events in history, and that is money. Barclays Bank recently announced that they're leaving Africa. They are selling their assets off, but we say it is not a loss to us, but a gain. After many centuries of plundering Africa, maybe, just maybe, it's about time that they leave. Sometimes the news is reported to make us feel sorry for ourselves, that perhaps we're doing something wrong, we're mismanaging our economies, or even that we have unstable political environments. When one looks at it from a long term perspective, most Africans are better off without Barclays Bank. Several banks, like just looking at the history of Barclays, several banks like Barclays trace their origins and wealth to the financing of the transatlantic slave trade. Many banks, such as Barclays, Barings, HSBC, and the Bank of England, were built with the wealth of slavery. Some can trace their origins to the Thomas Leyland banking house, which was notorious for financing slave trade. Hundreds of Britain's great houses were built with the wealth of slavery, including the Church of England, which also acknowledges it financially gained from slavery. When slavery was abolished in England, many slave traders and owners were even compensated, but the actual slaves who were taken from Africa never received anything. England did not even apologize for slavery. In the 1980s, Barclays Bank became known as Barclays Bank because of their continued involvement and support of the apartheid regime in South Africa. The former UK Minister Tony Blair was also accused of selling useless air traffic control system to Tanzania in 2001. Claire Short, a UK Member of Parliament, described the deal as useless and hostile to the interests of Tanzania. Barclays Bank colluded with the government by loaning Tanzania the money, but lying to the World Bank about the type and the size of the loan. And Tanzania could have paid much less for the same equipment, which cost them about £28 million. In the 2000s, Barclays Bank continued to finance Zimbabwe's Mugabe regime during their most brutal and violent elections. Barclays Bank, like Anglo America, Bayer, De Beers, and Cabot Corporation, were also implicated in fueling the DRC conflict that still rages on. So we encourage you also to look at our article, How France Continues Slavery and Colonialism, which helps to also explain why former French colonies face an uphill battle in becoming economically independent. Let us know what you think, and we shall continue to cover some of those intricacies of African history that we don't always read about in our textbooks.